Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. This is your favorite host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, unpacking the latest sports news. In today's show, Sport Rep has news about some football clubs that have started with their preparations for the league, as well as the coaching course taking place at Walfish Bay. And now for your latest on the hit list. Many clubs are scrambling to regain players or to find new ones after it was announced that football might start in November. Some players have retired while others have devoted their lives to other careers after football in the country came to a halt. Life Fighters boss Anton Kake is however unconcerned about having players given the talent at his disposal. The oldest player I have at the moment is 29, and many of them were in their early 20s when football came to a standstill. We also have our under-19 team that has been active throughout the years, and they recently competed in South Africa. This means that many players are likely to be promoted to the senior team once we officially commence with training, Kake said. Plans to train at the Oshivarongo-based team boasted a group of talented players that created problems for bigger teams in the MTC Namibia Premier League. Life Fighters managed to score 45 goals in the last Namibia Premier League season and finished 5th during that period. The Dolphins Swimming Club dominated the Namibia National Short Course Swimming Championship by securing 3,399 points at the Water Cube swimming pool in Swakopmund. Jose Conjulo was named the Senior Victor Lundrum and Molina Smalley the Senior Victress Lundrum, while Rodney Fierres took the Junior Victor Lundrum title and Rosaline Machai was named the Junior Victress Lundrum. Three para-swimmers, Namasiku van der Linden, Jerome Roy and Caitlin Botter, pulled off quite an impressive performance. Van der Linden won 6 gold medals in 6 different categories, and Van Roy won 2 gold medals for the 50-meter backstroke and 50-meter freestyle. Botter won 7 gold medals. Hosted by the Namibia Swimming Federation, the 4-day event saw more than 250 swimmers from 6 different Namibian clubs, as well as a team from Botswana participating in front of about 300 spectators. The event was held so that coaches and swimmers could determine how they had improved over the season. The 2022 Oshivarongo Secondary School has seen the under-17 netball team like never before. Last year, the team was really getting better and better as the months went on by, and this year had an extraordinary season which kicked off. They called it an extraordinary season as they united and were undefeated. The team played against quite a lot of schools, but there were also games that OSS under-17 team didn't win, like they qualified to the NPG Grand Slam, which took place on the 18th and the 19th March 2022. In Windhoek, Namibia, they came second overall in the competition. However, their remarkable playing and passion for netball caught the eyes of Martinique Scott, who offered to sponsor the team for the Capricorn Group Super League. Furthermore, the school would like to congratulate Venaune Muhuka under 15 and Kaushiko Sheye under 17, who was chosen for the Osodonjupa regional team, as well as Hendrina Shikwaya under 17 and Grace Machai under 19, who was chosen for the Namibian national team. This is a team that is from the Osodonjupa region that is being hailed for performing well beyond their ability and expectations, and that is why the team has been actually selected, or some players have actually been selected for the Oshodonjupa regional team. The team did indeed very well during the year. We will now cross over for a break, and after that it is Sharpshooter. Stay tuned. Today, the sharpshooter focuses on coaching and football. This time around, our reporter Sheldon Johannes brings us an interview and footage from the coast. He chats with Coach Willie Kapukare and Gibson Romeo Gossip about an ongoing introductory coaching course and the importance of empowering coaches not only in Erongo but throughout the nation to create future stars in Namibia. Enjoy.
Now, not ankle sideways. The foot behind must be straight. Walk, change. The foot behind must be straight at the baton.
Hey viewers, today we're joined by Coach Willie, the senior instructor of Namibian Football Association. So Mr. Coach, Mr. Willie, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, and how are you, brother?
I'm good.
Good.
Can you just tell us what's happening here today?
Good. We're here in Dolphins Bay. We started off on Monday with the introductory coaching course for the youth coaches, the aspirant coaches that have been already in training or doing their job, in terms maybe coaching the academies, coaching the second divisions, and coaching as well as the first divisions, and some of them that I might be working with the Premier League teams as well.
Okay. So how is the coaching been going so far?
So far, I have a very good team, I should say. I must give an applause to the chairperson of the Erongo region, and also I must give my word of thanks to the coordinator, Mr. Gossip, for the hard work that they have done to make sure that this course is on up and running. As you have just asked, the boys are really well. They started very bit low, but now they are picking up. So what I normally do is that I'm training the boys themselves so that they can also easy to remember, because we have the process of learning that they went through as well. It taught them that when you see and when you read and when you are doing it yourself, it's much better to remember things yourself. So that's why normally at this level I don't use like an academy, for example, to do practicals for them, but they do themselves the practicals, so that it becomes easy for them to remember things that they are doing.
Okay. So what is the program for today? So what did you start with this morning, and how are you going to end the project?
Yes, we had a topic this morning which was about basic passing. So what the whole groups are divided into four groups. So group 2 was on a practical session this morning. So they were doing passing and the receiving, only passing, basic passing. So now when we have done from the practicals, you have to watch it yourself. They will be going to the class, and they are going to be taken by the match official, who will be taking us through the laws of the game, because it becomes important for us to make sure that the coaches on the ground need to understand what the laws of the games are, why they done the way that they've been doing it, be done on the field of play, so that they should also have the sort of a first-hand information to understand the laws and be able to explain to the players. If it's an offside, they must be able to understand why they're offside, and that's why this word becomes important during our coaching courses, so our coaches can be taken through those one-off element of the laws of the game as well.
Okay. So how does one join this project?
This program is under the region. The region itself have a different people that are running, that are busy with football, either the second division teams, first division teams that falls under the region, and as well as on the academies. And also, if this need be, there are school teachers that are already also busy in football. These are the people that need to come to be part of this project.
Okay, so do you have any last words of encouragement, motivation, or to a future coach that's out there viewing this right now?
If there's any aspirant coaches, the way to go is education. You cannot be training the young boys if you don't have the education, because what is happening, the modern scientific approach of the game has changed so much that we cannot just allow anybody to be on the field of play. So we need coaches that are trained, need people that have education to understand and to remember. If I'm training a 4 to 6 young boys and girls, what type of training I need to give to them? If I'm training under 11, what size of the field should I use for the under 11, for example? So these are normally very much important aspect that way the coaches need to be trained and have the correct education to be able to train the young boys, because otherwise they might be even damaging the future of the young boys and girls to grow, because we might be giving wrong trainings to those young little ones. So when it comes to the elite ones as well, second division and up higher, they also need the proper training. They need to have a coach that understands the techniques. They need to have the coach that understands the tactics, so that the national teams coaches, the under 70s and the under 20 national coaches, should not have a problem with a player that is coming from regions, because they will understand, they will know already that these coaches or the players that are coming from a wrong region, they are well trained, because they are coming from a well trained coaches as well.
Okay, thank you for having us, Mr. Willie.
Thank you very much.
Out. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, through your nose. Let's go. In. Keep it there. And out. Total time.
Hey viewers, today we're joined by Mr. Gossip, the acting regional coordinator for the Irongo Football League. So how are you doing, Mr. Gossip?
I'm quite well. I'm very much elated, and I can say we are happy that we are busy with capacity building within the region.
Okay.
So I'm quite elated.
Okay, so when did this initiative start, sir?
These initiatives arrived or was born through discussions late last year, around about October.
Yeah.
And this came about after discussions with the executive committee through its chairman, and then we had to submit a request of assistance through the office of the acting technical director at NFA. And it is after that undertaking that we were then assisted with an instructor. But due to certain inhibitions, we couldn't host our course as was planned late last year already. We all know the financial constraints of the mother body, and we also had the COVID-19 restrictions that didn't allow us to gather a large number of aspirant coaches. So those were but some of the inhibitions that we faced late last year.
Okay. So you say you faced a lot of inhibitions, you faced a lot of struggles, but then how is the initiative going so far?
From its initial stages of planning, we have gone back to the drawing board in terms of identifying what the needs are in the region. And we have came to realize that most of our second division based club teams or coaches are uncertified. They didn't underwent any recognized coaching courses through the recognized body NFA. And we had, through our discussions, then decided to engage the stakeholders, NFA for that matter, to gauge how they can be of assistance to our region, to assist our aspirant coaches in order for them to be certified. And we have got a positive response from all our member clubs, as well as some from the schools within the region. And then others came through private academies within the region, because the need is uniformed in our region. So we have to start throughout our region to bring them on to par with where we want them to be, as per the requirements from Namibia Football Association.
Okay, sir. So are you guys planning on expanding this to a broader spectrum? Because I understand it's only in the Irongo region you're busy right now. Do you plan on going countrywide, nationwide? What are your plans?
As I'm speaking to you, I'm only responsible for the Irongo region. And all the other regions, all the other sister regions should emulate what we have done in the Erongo region. And that is to have what we refer to as a regional needs assessment. And after that assessment, they'll have to engage the office of the acting technical director at NFA for them to be assisted the very same way that we have been assisted too. And I'm calling on all the regions to follow suit, because it will be of no use for Erongo to be in front with capacity building and then you have a sister region that hasn't done the introductory coaching course for coaches within their regions. So I'm calling on all the regions to follow or to emulate the Erongo region in doing what we have done.
Okay, thank you for having us, Mr. Gossip.
It was a pleasure, sir.
Done, coaches. Right. What did we pick up from the match? While playing,
Teamwork.
coaches.
Teamwork.
2 wins. Each team has won 2 games.
Goal difference, we are leading.
Okay. 100%.
Green team was having communication. They were having teamwork. My team this side.
We had communication, but it was just wrongly communicated.
Yes.
Language barrier. Also, the box is different colors.
I don't know if I'll sell my team out, but the other team, they are a lot.
Really
More with 6 or 7 guys, but they are behind with goals, but they are still behind. Only 2 people here trying to score.
For the 6 guys there, and only 2 trying to get goals here. Against 6 guys again behind you.
6-7.
All right. It's 6-7, right? Okay. The topic. Did we able to see some aspects of our topic during our match?
Yes.
Yeah? And that is the main thing. Even when we come from more exercise forms, when we come to the game like situation, what we must encourage during the match is passing as well. Passing must be more out. Now, how do we control that passing to be?
Our international correspondent Ari Ochart is on standby on the other side of the break as he prepares to inform us about the latest happenings on the global sport fraternity. Stay tuned.
Good day, everyone. Time for international sports news. Starting off with soccer news. It is UEFA Nations League that still continues, one of the premier tournaments in Europe, and all the best to the national teams that's playing in that Nations League. News from the tournament is that Spain went through to the semi-final, and that was after beating Portugal in their Group 2 game, and that game was played in Braga in Portugal, and Spain winning 1-0. And this goal was scored in the 88th minute, and that was by Alvaro Morata. He's a former Chelsea player. And now the semi-finalists have been determined. Spain will join Croatia, Italy, and also the Netherlands. Those semi-finals will be played next year in June. Also news from the tournament is that Scotland earned a promotion to the top tier. That is the top 16 teams. They play in 4 groups, and so they got relegated. They went up. They're going up, promoted to the top 16. That was after a draw against Ukraine, and that game was played in Krakow in Ukraine. So it was a good result for Scotland, and they went up to the top 16 in the next year's Nations League. Going on to tennis news, and it is on the ATP, the men's tour. It is the Korean Open that started, and the news from the tournament in the round of 32, there was one top seed that already lost, and his name is Dan Evans of Britain. He's out. He lost to Japan's Yoshiki Nishioka, and the score there was 6-2 and 7-6. In the round of 16, it was Dennis Shapovalov of Canada. He's number 4 seed. He safely through. He beat Jaume Munar from Spain and the score 7-5 and 6-4. The top seed in the tournament is Casper Ruud from Norway, and he will play Nicolas Jarry of Chile in the round of 16. The number 2 seed is Cameron Norrie of Great Britain, and the 3rd seed for this tournament is USA's Taylor Fritz. Continuing international sports news with golf news, it's still the LIV Invitational Golf Tour and its battle with the PGA of America that's making the news. The LIV Golf Tour is a breakaway league with many of the top players in the world playing in that, and the PGA said that they will not allow those players to play on the US PGA Tour. So there was a lawsuit, but 2 players stepped back now. That is big news. And it is Phil Mickelson of the USA and Ian Poulter of Great Britain that said they're not going to be involved in this lawsuit against the PGA anymore. There's originally 11 plaintiffs in this case, and it is some of the plaintiffs that's remaining now is Bryson DeChambeau of the USA, also Matt Jones of the USA, and Peter Uihlein of the USA. And they're joined by the LIV Golf entity that's also one of the plaintiffs in this case. So LIV Golf at the moment is quite controversial. It is a breakaway league with 48 players, but that is by invitation only, and there's no cut. They play 54 holes in a shotgun start, and so there's also no official sponsor linked to the tournament. It is funded by Saudi Arabia. Because of today's international sports news, it is a Formula One racing news, and it is the Formula One racing calendar that continues this weekend. It is in Singapore. It's a street race. It's a bumpy ride, as they call it. It's a 23 turns, and it's a 5-kilometer circuit in Singapore. And leading at the moment still is Max Verstappen. He will be the favorite in his Honda Red Bull. He's got 335 points at the moment, and he's leading quite comfortably over Charles Leclerc in his Ferrari on 211 points. Lewis Hamilton, he is in 6th position on 168. Also news from the Formula One racing authorities are that next season there will be 24 races, but more significantly, they will double the sprint events to qualify. What it means is on a Friday there's a qualifying. Those qualifying positions then on a Saturday have a shortened race, that is normally between 15 and 20 laps of the race, and they call it the sprint qualifying. And how they finish in that race then determines how they start on the Sunday in the Formula One race then. So that is going to be doubled next year, the sprint events in the Formula One calendar for 2024. So that's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk again tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Ari. That brings us to the end of today's Sport Wrap show. Catch your favorite daily show again on Monday. Tomorrow at the same time, same place. Goodbye.